Hey, I just wanted to hop on and talk about betrayal for a minute today because this seems to be a pretty rampant issue in our society. And I think bringing some awareness to it, sorry, let me just move my seat back a bit. So, bringing some awareness to it and really looking at it from more spiritual perspective, I guess, might be helpful for some of you. So, if you came across this video, just know that you are meant to see it. You may actually have someone who is currently betraying you or using you in some type of way in your life. And I think if you came across this video, then Spirit clearly guided you here so that you can recognize the signs, so that you can maybe get some insight about what's actually going on and have a realization that, hey, maybe this is happening to me right now, right? So when you betray someone, okay, when anyone betrays another person, and with betrayal here, I'm talking like being deceptive, hiding certain thoughts or certain feelings that you're having about that person. This is also about like just straight up lying about things, pretending to be someone you're not, pretending to be better than you are, pretending to have more than you have. All of these things are deception, right? When you're not fully authentic, when you're not really yourself, and you're not honoring like your own intuition and your own feelings, then in that moment, you're not only, you know, betraying another person, but you're actually betraying yourself. And people don't realize this. People don't realize that when you're duping someone into believing something about you that isn't true, or when you're duping someone into believing that you have good intentions when really you actually don't have good intentions, or you may not even necessarily have ill intentions, but in some kind of way, you're like using someone, like you're saying the things maybe that they want to hear, that you think they want to hear. You might be saying stuff that will sort of appease them or make them happy to hear those things, or just stuff that you think is going to basically work with getting what you want. Then that's like major manipulation, right? You're manipulating that individual in that moment. And the moment that you do that, you're actually 100% betraying yourself. You're betraying your own soul, because your soul didn't come here to be like, oh, let's see how many people I can fuck over. No, your soul came here to see and have and experience things that are going to help you to grow, that are going to help you to become a better person. And life's challenges are exactly that. Life's challenges are like these pit stops that the universe wants you to take and be like, yo, pause for a minute, look at this and see what you need to like learn from this situation, see what you can extract from this situation. And your level of consciousness will determine what you actually extract or don't extract from a situation. All right, the more conscious, the more aware you become of who you are, the more you're going to understand yourself on a deeper level, understand your soul's desires, understand like what you came here to do, and the more you're going to want to stay in integrity with yourself. And integrity is a really really important thing to talk about, because we don't have integrity in our society anymore. We don't have authenticity in our societies anymore. I find much of society is always out there looking to see what they can get from another. And they're always looking to see how they can either get what they want or have someone or something in their life that will, make them feel better about whatever's going on, or maybe about the difficulties of life itself. And if you're a very empathic person, if you're someone who, really feels into these situations with people, and you might even get emotional for them, then it's very, very important to understand as an empath that you need to back off. Okay? When it comes to helping other people through their difficulties and through their shit, unless it's like 100% fair exchange of energy where they're fairly compensating you for that time, for the advice you're giving, for the energy and the time you're taking away from yourself, maybe, or your family or whoever, to give that time to someone else, then you have to 100% make sure that it's a fair exchange of energy. Because if it's not a fair exchange of energy, and this could be like a friend, okay? So this could be like a girlfriend maybe, who is always coming to you for like advice about her fucking dramas, right? About stupid shit that she does basically to herself and then looks to others, to help her crawl out of that mess, right? And there's so many people like this, right? I'm sure you know someone too that was like this all the time. And it's important that you don't give them help, that you don't give them advice, that you pull your energy back. Because if that difficult situation is for that person to experience and they're meant to go through that, they're meant to, extract some valuable lessons from that, then you constantly giving them the answers, you constantly helping them out is actually preventing them from truly learning. And what you're doing in that moment is you're taking on their karma. You are solving problems that were never assigned to you, but were assigned to that specific person. So it's incredibly important to pull your energy back from people like that. People, like I said, that are always coming to you for advice, but you can feel that they don't fully appreciate you, or that they don't even follow through on the advice you give them. Maybe they keep doing the same shit over and over and keep repeating a pattern, right? But it's like, at some point, you got to notice, you got to see, and you got to just be really aware that, oh my God, this is what this person's doing. And why am I here trying to solve their shit and not focusing on my own shit, not focusing on what I got to do and what I got to take care of, right? So pull your energy back. You got to drop people like that, just dead ass, like full on. You just tell them, like, it's done. I'm not helping you through your shit anymore. Like, you really have to just figure this out on your own. And that's that, right? Like, if you're a coach and you're getting paid for it, great. Then 100% you should do that, right? Especially if it's your passion and whatever, and you are fairly compensated for it, then that's your thing, that's your jam. But there will be people that will automatically assume, like I said, and specifically for empaths, that are going to automatically assume that if you're a nice person, then you're also dumb. And while there are a lot of nice people out there who are also dumb, there are also many out there that are really genuinely just kind-hearted people that other people will think are dumb, because maybe they're always kind. Maybe they're always putting other people's shit or other people's needs before their own. And, not everyone who is kind and generous is dumb. There are a lot of people who are kind of, once they catch on and once they realize like what's happening or that they're being taken advantage of, then they'll just cut things off, right? With an individual, they'll just end that connection, that relationship, whatever the situation is, right? Because there's only so much empathy one can have. And I really have come to understand that empathy burnout is a thing. I've talked to so many people about this, and empathy burnout is truly a thing where a lot of people just, like, really honestly kind, good-hearted people get taken advantage of like so fucking much. And then you get to this point where you're just like so burnt out. You're so sick and tired of like giving to other people all the time and like really not getting anything back out of that situation. You're not even being compensated. Like, you're legit just being used, right? And those people, like, they'll just reach empathic burnout, literally, where they will be like, you know what? Fuck the world. I ain't giving anybody shit anymore because I'm tired of always giving of myself and people always pulling on my energy and wanting something from me and having literally nothing to offer me in return. So if you resonate with this message right now, you may be in this type of empathy burnout. You may be in this type of betrayal burnout, right? And you need to recognize it. That's why I'm sharing this information, so that empaths can recognize this cycle and end the cycle. and you legit just pull your energy back from everyone. You can either tell them specifically what's going on, or, that like, hey, I see what's going on here. This doesn't feel balanced and I'm out. Like, you need to go and find somebody else to like spew your problems to, right? Or you can just block, delete, and never talk to that person again. Like, how you go about it is your choice. Do whatever feels best for you. Do whatever your intuition guides you to do, 100%. But really start trusting your intuition, actually, when it comes to these people, because there's always red flags. There's always messages that we get. There's always like insight or feeling that we get about people. Like, and your intuition never lies, man. Like, your intuition is always so on point. It will always point you in the right direction and always show you which people around you lack integrity and which ones don't. And unfortunately, you may notice that maybe most people around you actually lack integrity, that everyone has some type of hidden agenda, that everybody maybe wants something from you all the time because you are one of those very honestly, genuinely, for real, authentic type of empaths who really truly just love to help and support people. But if it's at your detriment, if it's taking time away from you, energy away from you, or energy away from your family, or you're having to spend hours like talking to this person, and like, for fucking what? Like, for them to get something out of it, and you're just sitting there and you're just like basically absorbing all that shitty energy and like dealing with it and trying to smooth it out. It's like, that wasn't yours to smooth out to begin with. That was somebody else's, right? So stop being nice. At the end of the day, my final message here is to stop being nice to others and really truly start to be kind to yourself and be so fucking fearlessly selfish. And there's two types of selfish, okay? There's ego selfish and then there's spiritual selfish. Spiritual selfish is when you just say no to everything and anything that is draining your energy, and you know that it's draining you because you feel tired or you feel like shit after you've had an encounter with it. That's how you know. And then egoic selfishness is exactly the type of people I was just describing. The ones that want to take from you and take from you and take from you because your energy is great, your energy is awesome, because you're elevated, because you're happy, because you're a good person, because you're genuine, because you're authentic, right? And so those types of people actually tend to attract a lot of people who are not genuine, who are not authentic, who are not in their integrity. And they attract those people because inauthenticity is always looking for authenticity. It is always looking to actually become that. So that energy has a real strong pull. Authenticity has a very strong pull. And inauthentic people will gravitate toward authentic people, because it's like they almost want to figure out like your secret. Like, how are you so authentic? How are you so fucking real? How are you so honest? Like, and how are you just not putting on a show or not wearing a mask and you just being legit who you are, right? It's very difficult to process for a lot of inauthentic people. And believe me, I would say right now the population is about 95% inauthentic. There's such maybe even more. There's such an incredible turning of our society, like, we're just so, it's taught in social media, it's taught through media, it's taught through our so-called leaders, who are constantly showing us betrayal, who are constantly showing us what inauthenticity looks like. It's like it's become so ingrained into the population, into the masses, that, that's what I think people think is normal. People think it's normal to not be authentic and to, fuck people over and to always, get ahead of the next person and to take advantage of kind people and to do whatever gets you ahead, basically. All of this is happening for a reason. So just notice who in your life wants to take from you, but rarely or next to never gives anything to you. And who in your life is true, is authentic, is there when you need something, is there and is able to listen to you when you need support or when you need guidance or just, someone to listen to you, right? How many people show up when that's the case? How many, like, legit show up for you when you actually need the support back? And that should be your indication of who is truly authentic and who isn't. Because authentic people, I find, are in many cases, they're also in their heart space way more than they're in their head. So it's like they think with their hearts, not their heads, right? This is why authenticity has such a high vibration and such a high draw, right? But it's just time, it's time to weed people like that out of your life so that you are not taking on their karma. This is very important. Do not take on other people's problems. Do not try to solve it. Do not try to fix it. If someone has come to you, friend, potential boyfriend, potential girlfriend, potential whoever, and they're already telling you they got like 300 fucking million problems, then that's kind of a red flag. Then, you might want to tell them like, hey, why don't you go and fix some of that shit up in your life first before you come back into mine. Because the moment that you take them in with like all these 300 fucking problems, guess what? They're going to want you to solve them. All of them. Because that's how people are. There's so many people are just fucking lazy to do the work. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to invest time in themselves and really, overcome their shadow aspects and their bad side. A lot of people just like embrace it, man. So, it's a pretty topsy-turvy kind of world out there, and it's very important that you become extremely discerning about who you let close, who you let into your space. Don't talk about your shit to anybody. Don't tell people like what's going on in your life. And really just try to keep things as low profile as possible, especially when you're coming up. When you're starting to really rise, and that's when usually a lot of the crazies will come out. A lot of people will try and come to you, or will really try and sort of attach themselves to you once they see that you're doing well, once they see that you're like, you're moving up, you're moving on. Then they will try to kind of circle back around because, again, your energy is so magnetic, your whole vibration is so magnetic. They just want to have a piece of that so bad, right? Because they don't know how to get themselves there, or because they're not willing to do the work to get themselves there, even if they know how to. So just a little FYI there. And wanted to share that because I think a lot of people are potentially going through this right now, particularly this year with like the astrology, with everything going on in our heavens. It's like the mask is peeling off. It's coming off everybody. And you know what? Nobody can hide their shit anymore. Nobody. The truth is coming out left, right, center. Inauthenticity is just showing up like as if it's been under a magnifying glass. Like you're just going to spot it so much easier. You're going to see it so much easier. So, truth be told. Truth be told. And I will leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.